All right. So I often get a lot of students going to me, asking me, well, what do I need to start drawing? And to be honest with you, you don't need much. A lot of people feel like they need to have sketchbooks and high-end pencils and all this stuff to start drawing, and you really don't. Um, Sketchbooks are great, but if you're just starting out and you just want to like doodle and get your ideas down, you can get some type of cheap Academy Mead sketch pad here. I think you can pick this a couple bucks at Walmart. But I actually prefer something like this. If you go to Office Depot, you can go get some Kodak bright white paper. It's got 110 brightness. And when I pull this out and look at the sketch pad here, you can definitely tell there's a different brightness to it as far as that goes. So using just regular paper works perfectly fine. Paper is basically boils down to kind of a preferential thing. I like a smoother, nice, clean paper. That's usually like a laser jet or something along those lines as far as paper goes. And if you want something a little bit portable, you can always grab a couple of pieces and fold them in quarters, take it with you. Works great. And the next thing that I usually tell students to get is some sort of pencil. A traditional pencil like this, I think this is like Point or Ticonderoga, really work great as far as that goes. You can sketch with the side of the pencil. You do need some sort of a pencil sharpener, nothing really fancy, but something like this works perfectly fine. I did a lot of drawing over the years with just a traditional pencil like this. There is one thing that I want you guys to be wary of is the pencil. If you get a cheap pencil, they put, I don't know what it is, it's wax or something in there. And so one, it's very, when you try and shade things, it's very waxy and it's very shiny and it doesn't feel right, it doesn't put down right, and so just be aware of those. And it's usually the same pencil that when you're holding it in your hands for a long time, the pencil will actually bend from the heat of your hand. So just be aware of that. And the other aspect of this is a mechanical pencil, like Papermate. Anything with like I usually go 0.7 or 0.5. I like the little thinner leads, especially if I'm using smaller paper or smaller sketchbooks. You get a little bit more detail in there. From a portable standpoint, both of these kind of suck. The fact that the regular pencil, that lead will break off in your pocket a lot. And then this one isn't as bad, but the mechanics in it generally tends to have problems with that as well. I did manage to find on Amazon, I picked these up, and they're just this little micro pencil, and I think they're like 0.7s, so they're really good. But they're just a mechanical pencil, works perfectly fine, and that gives you exactly what you're looking for. Now, the next thing is an eraser. This I do recommend spend a little bit more money on. The pink erasers, if from school, the pink erasers don't work as well because a lot of times if you get a cheap one, they leave behind the residue, so like they'll actually turn the paper pink. Not that great. You don't want pink all over your drawing unless you actually want it there on purpose. So I like usually like a white eraser. A couple cents more. I'll put some links in the descriptions for you guys. And so the white eraser I always find works a lot better. You can also get a kneaded eraser, not really needed, but per se. The big thing is to get an eraser that you like, and this is a lot of preferential stuff. I know many different artists, and I've talked to many different people over the years, and everyone's got their own idea of what they like. But from a fundamental standpoint of just getting started drawing, this type of materials work perfectly fine. And then I'm looking around for a clipboard around here, but you need a hard surface. And generally, when you get a sketchbook, sketchbooks usually have a harder kind of cardboard at the back of the thing. And even this isn't that great because I can bend it. But a harder surface to draw on, so that way you're not like bending your paper and stuff like that. And again, clipboards work fine, especially if you're going to lug around some white copy paper. That works perfectly fine. And the nice thing about the white copy paper is overall it tends to be cheap, and overall, if you don't like it, you can recycle it. And then the final thing I always recommend here is some sort of lighting. So lighting is a key thing that we really don't think about that much. And in all reality, light is a huge aspect when drawing. If you're drawing in the dark, and I used to do this as a kid, so I'm guilty of it too. When you're drawing in the dark and you don't have a good enough lighting, one, you miss some of the details that you're putting down, you miss mistakes, things like that. But on top of that, over time, it's killer on your eyesight here. It's one of those things that you can't get back once you've lost. Trust me with these Coke bottle glasses here. So yeah, good lighting is the next thing to go with. And that's really all you need to get started. Have a good comfy place you can draw. It could be the kitchen table. It could be sitting on the couch watching TV. But otherwise, that's what you really need to start drawing. So that's the basically lecture today. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments. And if you like it, subscribe. Thanks.